Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have chosen Benjamin Sesko. He has been Mikel Arteta's first choice. They have left Andrea Bata's choice, which is Victor Gyokerez. And Arsenal are now in concrete talks, according to Sky Sports German, to sign Benjamin Sesko to the club in a deal that will cost about 80 million euros. 80 million euros for Benjamin Sesko is what Arsenal have opted for. Victor Gyokerez, the player that was wanted by the so-called superb Andrea Bata, the guy they told us that is here to change Arsenal and take us to the next level. His suggestion has been dropped and Arsenal are going to go for Benjamin Sesko. I told you yesterday it was going to be an important couple of days coming up as Arsenal were trying to decide between Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyokerez. And I was hoping they choose Victor Gyokerez. I was really praying that Mikel Arteta and Andrea Bata go for Victor Gyokerez as the main priority. It's a good deal financially. It's a good deal in terms of what Arsenal need in terms of winning. But this is the story we get from Sky Sports German. It's been confirmed by Florian Plettenbach. So he says that exclusively revealed, Arsenal are now in concrete talks with RB Leipzig regarding Benjamin Sesko. It's interesting, very interesting. He says there that Marcel Schaffer and Andrea Bata are in contact, while Arsenal are also monitoring other striker targets such as Victor Gyokerez. Their pursuit of Sesko is very, very serious. Mikel Arteta is a big admirer of the 21-year-old forward from RB Leipzig. His release clause from the summer stands at 80. For this summer stands at 80 million euros. The deal is absolutely on, as revealed by Florian Plettenbach, Sky Sports German. Now, at the same time, he revealed this, and Fabrizio Romano retweeted his older tweet in January when Kai Havertz actually picked up that injury, and he said Arsenal are not going to sign a striker in January as they want to look at internal solutions because in the summer they are going to go for a big striker target. And he said the priorities in the summer for Arsenal were two players. One was Alexander Isak, and the second one was Benjamin Sesko. But that was before Andrea Bata came in. And that is why I don't understand why this publicity, information that has been coming out from the club. Why have we been hyping Andrea Bata? Because you bring in Andrea Bata, he's one of the best in his position. But you sign Martin Zubimendi. Martin Zubimendi was signed by Edu and Jason Aito. And then, he suggests Victor Gyokerez, and you're like, no, we're going for Sesko. The Sesko deal was initiated by Edu and was initiated by the Edu team. So why then did we bring Andrea Bata again? Because I thought Andrea Bata comes in to correct the mistakes that Arsenal have been doing for the past couple of years, especially in terms of transfers. But I don't see a role for Andrea Bata if we are going for our old targets and we're going for our old plan. You might as well have just kept Jason Aito, less wages, he gets less money than Andrea Bata, and we know that Arsenal are on the same trajectory. But that is the story coming in from Sky Sports German. It's now confirmed exclusively Arsenal in concrete talks with RB Leipzig for the signing of Benjamin Sesko, and Marcel Schaffer and Andrea Bata are in contact while Arsenal are monitoring other targets like Victor Gyokerez. The first thing I'm going to say here, this is typical Arsenal, and this is a mistake. Because Mikel Arteta, I want to share this. Mikel Arteta said, and these were his own words, if you want to win major trophies, you have to be the best in the market. The teams that win the best players, that have the best players, always, the teams that win have the best players always at this level. And this signaled that, to all us Arsenal fans around the world, that the manager and the team and the board and whoever is working alongside Mikel Arteta had realized that Arsenal need to raise the level, raise the standard of this club. I think that is what we've been screaming out this campaign. We need options. We need to increase the level. We need to increase the number of goals, and we need to increase creativity in this team. That's what we've been saying. And you are telling me that Arsenal want to win major trophies, and they want to win the market, and they want to be the best at this level, and they have dropped Victor Gyokerez, and we have gone for Benjamin Sesko, I am so... someone make this make sense to me, right? Because what I am saying is another window where Arsenal have fumbled it right before the start. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there are people that like Benjamin Sesko. I know there are people that are really crazy about Benjamin Sesko. But this still, for me, makes zero sense when you have Victor Gyokerez available. It makes zero sense when you have other options available, like Osimhen, who could be available for almost the same price or even cheaper. It makes zero sense. And I won't be surprised if Arsenal win nothing next season. I won't be surprised if Arsenal win nothing next season, because this strategy of us going for players that are developing, this strategy of us going for players that are good for the future has worked well in the last 4 years. That is why we are finishing second every single season, because we signed players that are just going to be good enough to take us to this level where we are. Now, you need players that are going to make you cross the line. Sesko is not a Kylian Mbappe, right? At 21, Kylian Mbappe, absolutely world class. Sesko is not Lionel Messi. Sesko is not, which other 21-year-olds do you remember? Robin van Persie. He's not in that category. This guy is an average Slovenian striker that Mikel Arteta is obsessed with, and we are about to sign another Kai Havertz. The difference is that this time we are shipping another Kai right from Germany. And maybe the other difference is that this Kai Havertz is not from Germany, he's from Slovenia. That is the only difference. I mean, when are we going to stop working with work in progress? Because for me, Benjamin Sesko is a work in progress. There's a lot to work with Benjamin Sesko. There is a lot, right? I know why Mikel Arteta has gone for Sesko. We all know why Mikel Arteta has gone for Sesko. We know. And this is a Mikel Arteta's decision. This is not an Andrea Berta decision. And listen, I'm going to make this call right now. I won't be surprised if Andrea Berta leaves Arsenal before the end of 2 years. I won't be surprised. Because why did we bring in Andrea Berta? That's a question that all of us have got to ask right now. And I need answers. And probably anyone else there needs answers. When we brought in Andrea Berta, it was suggested Arsenal have signed one of the best guys in recruiting forwards, right? And his pedigree and his experience is unprecedented in that role. We have seen what Andrea Berta can do. He's an absolute genius of a guy in doing that. But for us to bring him in and tell the whole world, Arsenal brought in a new sporting director, and Mikel Arteta has been speaking absolute praise about Andrea Berta. He's gonna come in. He's gonna use his experience. He's gonna use his links and pedigree to get us to the next level. We are bringing in a guy that is doing this and that. And yet, Arsenal are not changing one bit so far. This is the crucial window. A window where Arsenal need to add goals, a window where Arsenal need to add creativity, a window where we need players that can get you over the line. It is not Benjamin Sesko. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I wish I'm wrong. I wish Benjamin Sesko scores 20 goals next season. I will happily say, I'm sorry, Benjamin Sesko, I was wrong. But right now, if you're Arsenal and you have Victor Gyokerez on the table, 100 goals, 100 bloody goals in 2 seasons, in 90, this guy has scored 95 goals in 100 appearances for Sporting. And then you have a guy who is 21, turning 22, and has scored 19 goals, right, for RB Leipzig, and is more expensive, and you've gone with this guy. To hell with that. Absolutely mind-boggling. I don't know of a club that we are competing with that would go for this. And the first message I want to put across there, I'm so sorry, Andrea Berta. I'm sorry that you have to join a club like Arsenal. I'm so sorry that you have to see and work with this. I'm so sorry. Because as a good sporting director, he comes in and he tells you, all you need is to get over the line. Arsenal don't need another 10 years. We need 3 years have a Champions League in the next 3 years, have 2 Premier League titles in the next 3 years, and that's what we need. But going for a 21-year-old that is going to score cost 80 million euros, he scored 16 goals. And that is what attracts us. Would Liverpool really sign this guy? Because we're going to talk about Liverpool. They're the champions. Would Liverpool really die over Sesko? They wouldn't. Would Manchester City die to sign Sesko? They wouldn't. And Manchester City have won 4 or 5 of the last 6 Premier League titles. They are not going for Sesko. They're going for Erling Haaland. Why? Because Erling Haaland has got the numbers. There is proof there. And Gyokerez, there is proof there. The proof is on the table. You know, with striker business, it's about the numbers. It's about the numbers. It is a results business. And we have just gone and said, well, Sesko looks good in this new Arsenal kit. You know, the new Arsenal kit doesn't look good. We need guys that look handsome and can actually fit into this. I don't know our transfers. I don't know why our transfers are so bad in the last 1 and now 2 years. Last year, Calafiori, Merino, and Raheem Sterling. Shit. Absolutely shit. This year, welcome, Benjamin Sesko over Victor Gyokerez. You know, Sesko last summer made a lot of sense, right? He made a lot of sense. It was a market opportunity, about 50 million, I think. Then you had Osimhen was quite expensive. You had Victor Gyokerez was quite expensive. So it made sense. Arsenal were desperate for a number 9, and we wanted a guy that could come in right there and then. And Sesko was a market opportunity. It made a lot of sense. But this year, Sesko doesn't make sense. So you're telling me that we waited a whole year for Benjamin Sesko's price to go from 50 million to 80 million, and he has not improved a single bit for us to sign him. How did I support this club? How did I get myself in the position of supporting this dreadful club? Because next season is going to be the same. We're just excited to see the new kit being worn every single weekend at the Emirates. But I don't know how I found myself, because Arsenal is like a cheating wife that you defend every single time thinking they are going to change. Newsflash, sorry, I'm going to break this to you. She is not going to change. And Arsenal are that cheating bastard of a wife that are never going to change. We are never going to change. Like, I want you to think about the strikers Arsenal have signed right from Thierry Daniel Henry's departure from the club. We have had Emmanuel Adebayo. We have had Chamak, Giroud, Yaya Sanogo, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Jesus, Eduardo. Beautiful player, wasn't he? Right? And if you think about those strikers, right? Now I want you to think about the last 6 years. The strikers that Arsenal have had in the last 6 years. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Gabriel Jesus, and Edin Nketiah. Now think about the strikers Arsenal have signed in the last 6 years. Jesus only. So how do you sign Gabriel Jesus? And you know, Gabriel Jesus is not going to make you win major trophies. Are you telling me that Benjamin Sesko is better than Jesus because he's taller? This is a bad decision, guys. Like, for the people who want to see Arsenal have nice, handsome players, what a signing. Like, you have Calafiori, you have Rice, and now you have Benjamin Sesko coming in. Oh my God. This team, and they have Odegaard with, flipping his hair. Oh my God. This team has absolute beautiful players. They look nice, but they are not winning anything. You add Sesko to that team, and you add Martin Zubimendi to that team, and PSG will do you another home and away. Benjamin Sesko is not barring the chances that Martinelli didn't bury. He's not barring the chances that Trossard didn't bury. He's not barring them. He's not barring them. Sesko is another Kai Havertz that is new. That's the truth. He's another Kai Havertz that is new. And I'm not going to even go back on my words. I know people are going to be because you're negative, this and that. I've been very positive in the last few days, in the last few weeks, in the last 2 months. Been very positive about this summer because there's nothing to be positive about this dreadful season. Nothing. The only positive thing Arsenal have this season is that Manchester United didn't win anything and they finished 15th. And Arsenal themselves qualified as second. Those are the only positives. So the only positive thing that Arsenal have is this transfer summer, and we are fumbling it. God, like, we are so good at being bad that we can be bad even when bad is impossible. I don't know. I don't know, but Sesko is the one. We'll do analysis on him. Like, how do you choose Sesko over Victor Gyokerez? I don't know. I don't know. But it's happening. That's the truth. It's happening.